His head was resting on my shoulder as he cried like a child who had lost everything. I froze for a second. My son, my strong, kind, gentle son, was breaking right in front of me, and all I could think was, what if I had never let him exist? He has always been sensitive. Even as a little boy, he would cry if he saw someone else in pain. Once, he came home without his lunch because he had given it to a classmate who forgot theirs. That was him. My angel. Too soft for this world, yet somehow stronger than everyone I've ever known. And I almost ended his life before it began. I don't think people understand what it feels like to live in a house where you don't exist as a person. Only as a role. A function. A body that works. I was married into a big joint family, 17 people under one roof. Sounds warm, right? It wasn't. It was cold in ways I didn't even know were possible. No one cared how I felt. As long as I cooked, cleaned, served, and stayed quiet, I was good. The moment I showed any emotion, any opinion, I became a problem. My husband. I don't even know how to describe him. After 30 years of marriage, he is still a stranger to me. We share a house, a name, and a history, but nothing real. No conversations. No connection. Just silence and distance. Except when there wasn't silence. Sometimes there was anger. Sometimes there were hands. I had dreams once. Big ones. I wanted to build something of my own. To have a life that meant something. I gave it all up when I got married. I told myself that this was what life was supposed to be. That I would adjust. That it would get better. It didn't. The day I finally spoke up, just a few simple words about how unhappy I was, it felt like I had committed a crime. I still remember the look in their eyes. Not anger. Not even hatred. Entertainment. Like I was a show. He beat me that day. Not just physically. Something inside me broke too. I remember looking at my mother-in-law silently begging for help. She just stood there, watching, almost enjoying it. That was the moment I realized I was completely alone. So when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't feel happy. I felt trapped. Another responsibility. Another life depending on me. Another reason I would never be able to escape. I remember lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, thinking maybe it would be better if this child never came into this world. I hate myself for that thought. But it was real. I was tired, broken, empty. But then, he was born, and everything changed. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't instant magic or a perfect moment like in movies. It was slow. Quiet, but real. He would hold my finger with his tiny hand, and for the first time in years, I felt needed. Not as a servant, not as a wife, but as a mother. As he grew, he became my safe place. He would sit next to me when I was tired. He would notice things no one else did. If I skipped a meal, he would bring me food. If I looked sad, he would ask me why, and actually listen. Do you know how rare that is? To be heard. Sometimes I would cry quietly at night, thinking he was asleep. But he always knew. He would come and hug me without saying a word. We became each other's world. He used to say, "One day, I'll take you away from here, Mom. I promise." I never told him how much those words kept me alive. Years passed. Nothing really changed in the house. The same cold faces. The same silence. The same pain. But I had him. That was enough. Or at least I thought it was. Today something broke. He came home late. His eyes were red. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't push. I've learned that sometimes people need time. But then he came to me and just collapsed. That's when he started crying. Not the quiet kind. Not the "I'll be okay" kind. The kind that comes from deep pain. I held him just like I used to when he was little. But this time I felt helpless. He kept saying, "I tried, Mom. I really tried." I didn't even know what to say. My strong boy, who always held everything together, was falling apart. And suddenly, a terrifying thought hit me. What if the world has finally broken him too? What if this place, this life has taken from him the same way it took from me? I felt this wave of guilt crash over me. I brought him into this house, into this pain, into a life where kindness feels like a weakness. And yet, he still chose to be kind. That's what hurts the most. He didn't become like them. He became better. And now he's suffering for it. I gently asked him what happened, but he just shook his head. "It doesn't matter," he said. But it does matter. Because I can't lose him. I can't watch the only light in my life fade away. Not after everything. Not after I almost didn't let him exist. As I sat there holding him, I realized something I had been avoiding for years. I stayed silent for too long. I accepted too much. I told myself I was surviving, but maybe I was just slowly giving up. But he didn't. He grew up in the same house with the same pain and still chose love. So maybe it's not too late for me. Maybe I can still choose something different. For him. For us. For the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Not fear. Not sadness. But determination. I don't know how yet. I don't know when. But I know one thing for sure. I'm not letting this place destroy him the way it tried to destroy me. Because the truth is, he didn't just save my life. He gave me a reason to finally live it. And now I keep asking myself, if I had the strength to bring him into this world, do I finally have the strength to take him out of this hell?